Boom! Hey, all you sports fans out there in the tubal sphere. Welcome to the One Man Sports Rant Gen 2.0. I am your host, Will, the alternative ESPN, or in this case NBC. Sports Thrill, bringing you our Olympics-only format for only a few more days. Alright, so what is the OMSR, specifically Gen 2.0? Well, in Generation 1, we had over 200 shows that I willingly took down, which was not an easy decision to make because the videos were not migratable over evolved from one account to another on YouTube. Why? Because of the NFL. It's a long story, but suffice to say the NFL does not give permission to show any length of clips whatsoever. I spoke with a gal who runs the division at NFL Properties LLC there in New York. So don't go there because they will find it. That's all they do apparently all day is look for videos on social networking sites. So, and then I start getting some content ID, which is not as serious as a copyright strike, from CBS, the NCAA, for some of the tournament this year's games, but not others. I was like, you know what, forget this. We're just going to start over. That's a premature 2-minute warning. I think today, unfortunately, since this would come in handy real soon as a prop, as we do on the OMSR, we're going to set that off to the side here. Actually, I'll probably bring it back. And false starts going on the show. Didn't even make it through 1 minute. Okay, it's an OMSR specialty to get to the heart of the matter by showing brief sports highlights, in this case courtesy to NBC and the IOC, that get to and show in a vignette sort of way a detailed enough story where you get an idea of how the game may have ended. Now this show is copyright to the OMSR. The video highlights, again, I do not own them, but I do own the concept and the original content herein. As the legal disclaimers, I'm going to sound like Tank, Neo's operator, was supposed to go there on this morning's program software stuff. And let's get to combat training. Well, legal disclaimers sometimes going to be like combat training. So that covers that. And so am I going to re-upload 200 shows from Generation 1? No. And to further the point about Gen 2.0, you might be saying, well, Will, this is all fine and good, but what other reason should I watch? Because not everybody has time for a 15-minute show. And it's not 15 minutes of highlights either. It's not 15 minutes of talk. We do try to cover talk in a way that you will not hear on any other network, because we don't have to answer to the network, the sponsors, or the gatekeepers, the producers. So I do try to spend some time on the particular sports subject being covered on each show. And I've noticed lately that I've gone over, so we're going to cut to the chase right now. Alright, tonight's highlights are the women's 100-meter and 200-meter finals. For Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, what a beautiful name, from Jamaica, and Allison Felix finally got that individual gold medal. So a carryover from Generation 1 is what I like to call the life rant, sports rant of the day, because this is the one-man sports rant after all. So in the first highlight, I allowed the introductions of all the runners from their countries, and I noticed that the entire lineup, what a bunch of babes. Yeah, but that's not I just had to throw that in there. I don't cover the intros of all the ladies running in the finals, because I noticed that a lot of them in this first clip were in the respective other finals as well. Man, beautiful. But on the Life Rant Sports Round of the day, where are all the white chicks? Excuse me. I noticed a few that made it through the qualifying prelims and whatnot, and I mean, we all know African Americans have that athleticism gene just a little bit more than, say, some of your Caucasian races. And that's not being racist, I'm just stating a fact. Well, I mean, how many geeky black people have you ever met? You know, can you say that about, oh, certain lawyers or doctors, little knivishy types? Okay. So I'm going to do something. You may notice that this has taken a while because I didn't want to do a show based on our time limit and also the time limit on the amount of video highlights that I can bring to you. A show based on one event. So I had to wait a week to sort of get similar sporting events, a compilation of different countries going head-to-head and whatnot, some of the more interesting stories of the Olympics. Now, is that the right time? It is. That's a 2-minute warning, so I really got to wrap things up. So I'm going to copy this show and duplicate it for the other gal. This will be the last track and field. Who won Sanya, Richard Ross, the 400 meter. So, you know, if this is not your cup of tea, I understand, as I was alluding to earlier, but I'm just not sticking to the format at all tonight. Just fast forward 7 to 10 minutes. And back to what I was saying about taking a week. Well, that's why I'm going to, you know, duplicate one show for the other. And I'm going to throw in a clip about how the cameraman and I apparently discussed that we got the white balance feedback loop issue, which some of the shows before seem to be having. But I know some of these track and field highlights that is not existent, but I threw it in there anyway. Women's volleyball, right on, and specifically Korean volleyball. If you've had a chance to watch them, they look every bit as dominant as the USA. All right, spike that offset. Oh. Cameraman, watch out. Hey, we get that issue fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to apologize for the last couple of shows. There's a little bit of a white balance off kilter feedback loop. Something like that. This show, I don't think it's that bad, right?
Got it.
But for tonight, I think we'll be okay.
Right.
Enough said. So a couple catchphrases for Generation 1 that I like to close out on. No silly DUIs while you're out there celebrating the Olympics and or your preferred sport. Without further ado, we bid adieu. Now, some track and field watch going off constantly. I have yet to figure out why it does that. The alarm. Constantly re-beeping. Eddie from Iron Maiden, the Iron Maiden's mascot. You heard from the Trooper. Figured Iron Maiden, being, you know, proud of their English roots, would be the perfect band for the musical lead-into for all the Olympic shows. And in particular the Trooper, because every athlete that's gotten to this point has been a Trooper, suffered the blood, sweat, and tears. So I'd like to give a Trooper Award to, pursuant to the particular sports subject that we were talking about today. So, good for you, girl. You finally got your individual. All right. Later days and more Olympic clips.
Disappointment of Beijing still rings in her memory. She can erase it all with a gold medal here. That elusive individual gold medal in the 400 meters.
She won't go that hard to 200. You see her back off now? She's conserving his energy, but she's let pre-requisite in. That's a dangerous young lady to her inside.
Pre-requisite now seizes the lead. Richard Ross is there. Moncho and Uhuragu. Percori on the outside. Trotter on the inside. Here's the home straightaway. Pre-requisite has the lead. Richard Ross on her outside is second. Dee Trotter on the inside. Now seizes command of the race. It's Trotter in front. Richard Ross trying to catch her. Richard Ross surges to the front. Here comes the finish. Richard Ross wins it. Uhuragu with a late close there. With Richard Ross running down her teammate Dee Trotter. She has her Olympic gold medal.
What a difference 4 years makes, Tom. In Beijing, too aggressive in the first half, paid the price coming up the home straightaway. This year, look at how happy your parents are. This year, Tom, you saw the patience. Pre-requisite made a move. She was not concerned. She took her time, and that's what gave her the edge in the final 100. Because Dee Trotter had a great finish as well as the defending champ Uhuragu, who got up for silver and bronze. So Valerie Briscoe, you have to make some room in that club, because Sanya Richards has become the second person from the United States to be 400-meter Olympic champion.
Sanya Richards-Ross claims the gold, and her teammate Dee Trotter the bronze, and it was Christina Uhuragu of Great Britain, to the cheers of the crowd, that was really gaining ground in the final meters. Trotter on the inside is in third, and Moncho a close fourth.
Tom, there is Sanya Richards-Ross. She is in lane 6. And she has so much speed that sometimes she wants to use it too quickly. But the 400 is a balance of speed and strength, you also need some patience to run it well. That patience was in display tonight. Look at the move by Krivoshavka. Sanya was not concerned. She knew that she had to save something for the final 100, unlike in Beijing. And after that patience, she had some work to do because Didi Trotter, Krivoshavka, and the fast finishing Ahuragu second from the outside were coming. But she had enough left. And the difference tonight for Sanya Richards-Ross, just that much. She's Olympic champion.
So Sanya Richards-Ross erasing the bitter memories of Beijing and finally claiming that individual gold medal in the 400 meters. She won a couple of relay gold medals, but this one is for her. It's Sanya Richards' time in the 400 meters as she claims victory in the Olympic final. And she celebrates the moment.